the double underpass, it's one from, you know, when I open my opponent from the closed guard, or sometimes depending on how they're playing their open guard, if they're opening their legs and they have their legs where they're playing in the air instead of actually trying to protect their guard the right way, this also gives me the entry. But a really nice, easy entry that a lot of people don't think about is when I go to the armpits and I'm gonna walk my knees back just a little bit and I'm gonna pull my chest down, okay? It gives me this opening. So when I'm ready, not one at a time, but two at a time, I'm gonna pop my arms in between his legs, okay? And what I wanna think about doing is, I'm going to first flare my elbows out so I make myself as wide as possible, okay? And then I'm going to clasp my hands together. And what I want to think about doing is I don't want Brandon flat on the ground. I want Brandon to be pulled in, okay? So his hips are up and I'm driving my fist into his stomach and getting my chest in on top of his legs, okay? Because I don't want Brandon getting his hips flat and I don't want Brandon being able to use his legs and actually open my posture and break my grips, okay? So my elbows have to be pulling in and controlling his hips. And now when I'm ready, I want to take one side and I want to clamp onto his neck, okay? Now, I'm going to grab my arm on the other side, okay, here, and then what I want to think about doing is I'm going to pull and I'm going to start to stack them into his face, and then I'm going to cut the angle and I'm going to slide my arm off at the same time here, okay? As soon as it passes, I'm keeping the grip onto his shoulder and his neck, and I'm keeping my posture where I'm walking backwards. And then this is a lot of times where I'll start to set up like a north-south choke, or just come into my side control. Pressure work. Okay. So now let's say Brandon's playing like this open guard right here, where a lot of times people will be keeping me at bay or whatever, but they're not actually using their body the way that they should be, with like elbows and knees connected together. So what I want to think about doing is I'm going to pop up and I'm going to come in, and once I get this grip here, the gable grip on his belly, okay, I'm going to lift him up, and then I'm going to make sure that my elbows are clamping in. Now, once I'm ready, I'm going to pick the side that I want to go to, clamp on, and then to control, I'm going to clamp on here, because if he can open his legs and get his hips to the mat, I'm going to have a lot of issues. So controlling my wrist here and keeping his hips up and my knees under him is going to keep him from just being able to shrimp out, okay? Now when I'm ready, I'm going to cut the angle, okay? My arm's going to start to come off, post, okay? My knee right now is sitting behind Brandon's butt, keeping him stacked in the air, okay? It's a detail that a lot of people miss, but I want to make sure that I'm keeping his hips in the air as long as I can, okay? So once I'm starting to pass and I'm getting the pressure here, then it's going to fall off right here, okay? Now I'm going to drop into side control, okay? And from here, I'm going to decide whether I try to step over to mount or cover his hip, start to slide the arm under, and then start to walk back into the north-south. All right?